me. As promised, the second video in my video series for this week, the week before New Year's Eve. We've got 2 full days left until 2016 is upon us. It's gone so quick. I don't know about you, but it doesn't seem that long ago since the beginning of 2015. Anyway, I have escaped from the family get-together in the house. My mother-in-law is no doubt asleep in her chair in front of the telly. So I've sneaked down here so that I can record the second video explaining and doing another step that will hopefully help you figure out whether clearing your clutter is actually a priority for 2016. Because as I mentioned yesterday, there is no point in us committing to clearing our clutter if actually there are other things in our life which are more of a priority and that we're more inclined or need to spend more time and effort on in 2016. Lots of people say to me, Claire, I want to clear my clutter. But whether that relays and converts into actually putting in time and energy is another matter. Clearing your clutter is a journey, not a one-off event. I know the TV programs make it look as if you can have a blitz, the clutter is cleared and it all stays beautifully clear forevermore. But if you've ever had a blitz on your clutter or struggled with your clutter, you will know, like me, that actually a blitz doesn't work, it doesn't last, and the clutter soon grows back. So if you truly want to clear your clutter in a way that will ensure that this is the last time you ever have to clear it, so that you create those habits that you need in order to maintain a clutter-free home and lifestyle in the future, then that is going to take some time. And we need to work out, is that worth the time and the effort? Is it a priority for us in 2016? Okay, so yesterday I shared with you the Wheel of Life, and I explained that there are 8 segments to it. Now, you may have done what I did, which was identify which segment was dominant this year, which segment took up the majority of your time or the greatest chunk of your time. For me, it was the work career section. And also to identify which section you think you will probably want or need to work on most next year, and which will be most dominant. And for me, that's my health section. I know that I haven't been doing the exercises and the healthy eating as much as I need to. Okay, ban the word should. Should is instant guilt, isn't it? Oh, I should have done that. I should have done that. That instantly brings us down and makes us feel bad. So could or need to. Okay, what we're going to focus on in 2016, there needs to be a need there, just like with our clutter. Those of you who have already started your clutter clearing journey with my help will know that I'm obsessed with, do we need it? Will we actually use it? And if so, when? Well, we're kind of doing that with our priorities for 2016. Do we need to focus on a particular aspect of our Wheel of Life? And will we use it? Will we actually make that time? Okay, so just as a double check, here's what I want you to do. Imagine that each segment is a whole, okay? And I'm going to take my work career section, which I said was dominant in 2015. So, of the work career section, how happy was I with that work career section? Okay, I know I spent a lot of time on it in 2015, but if that segment is a whole, how full would that be? Okay, if it was happiness, how full would that segment be? Well, I was very happy with my work career section. As we know, it was my dominant section, so it actually would be a full section. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to colour in that section. Because it would be full. Okay. Can you see that? It's full. Okay. Now then, I mentioned yesterday, didn't I, that my joy and fun section is always the one that I struggle with, because I find my work fun. I enjoy my work section. I do love doing what I do. I love seeing people transform their homes and their lives. I love it when people get what I call light bulb moments. They suddenly realise why something has perhaps not been a success, when they've struggled to focus and finish one room that has clutter in it at a time. And suddenly they realise, oh gosh, yes, I do flit from room to room, don't I? I do move the clutter from corner to corner, room to room. That's what I call a light bulb moment. When we realise what we've been doing, we can choose whether we continue doing that or whether we try something different. I love that. I really love it. A lot of my clients probably get fed up with me saying this, but very often it's not the size of the step that we take on our clutter clearing journey, it is the significance of it. So for example, at the moment there will probably be a lot of people going out there enjoying the January sales, which ironically start in December. It just doesn't make sense to me, but anyway. Lots of people will be out enjoying the Christmas sales, New Year sales, and will be accumulating a huge amount of clutter because, oh well, it's on special offer, it's half price, and it is something that I use, or it is something that I could use, or that I want to use, or it's a hobby that I want to take up in 2016. So let's buy the stuff now because it's cheaper than it would normally be. So there will be a huge number of people out there accumulating potential clutter. Now, I will get a lot of joy out of working with people next year who realise that actually accumulating all that potential clutter, if they don't use it, if they don't actually need it now, that will become clutter. And I get a huge sense of pride, very proud of my clients, because it is hard, isn't it, to admit that you need help. I will have a lot of clients this year who will be saying, actually, you know what, I could go to the sales, I could get a bargain, but I don't need to. I'd rather have the space and I'd rather have less clutter than accumulate things that I don't need or want. I get a lot of joy out of that. I know, I'm quite sad really, aren't I? Need to get out more. Okay. So, but in terms of non-work related joy and fun, I'm not quite so good on that one. So that would probably be half a segment. So if I take half a segment there and fill that in like that, so I could do with doing that. Okay, so that would be that segment. Can we see that? Yes, hopefully you can. Okay, the physical environment. How happy am I with my physical environment? Well, my lovely husband, he decorated my office for me last Easter, and you know what? It has made a difference. It is much cozier. Jackie likes it more, I think. Jackie's my assistant. So I would probably say that's about 3/4 full. So let's fill in that section. La, 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 la. Hopefully you've made a note of which segment is what. Okay. So that's mine. You fill in yours, however happy you are with your physical environment. If you've been very happy with your physical environment, it's on the outer edge. If you're not so happy, it's on the inner edge. Okay, friends and family or social. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 4. Let's go for purple. How happy have I been with my friends, family, social life? I've not been very good. Because again, I've enjoyed my work. And I know I do need to make more time for my friends and my family, and just for socialising, relaxing. So actually I'm going to put that very low. There. That's not so good. Okay, so not being very happy with that section, really. Health. Well, that's the section that I know I need to work on. So that is going to be a very low element there as well. I need to look after myself, because if I can't look after myself, I can't look after you. Again, a lot of my clients will say, oh, oh, the children come first, or my partner comes first. We're not very good at putting ourselves first, are we? Feels a bit selfish. That's how I feel anyway. Well, I have a little saying that there is a reason why when you're in an aeroplane, if you've ever been on an aeroplane and they're going through the emergency procedure, hardly anybody watches it, but the flight attendants are there and they're doing all of with the use of the exits, blah, blah, blah. And then they do that thing with the mask, don't they? The masks will drop down from the overhead locker or whatever it's called, and attach the mask, put it over your head. Make sure that you attach your mask first before helping others. It's exactly the same in life. If we do not attach our own mask first, we could become unconscious and we wouldn't be able to help anybody else. So although the natural instinct is to put an oxygen mask onto your child first, what would happen if you suddenly lost consciousness because you haven't got enough oxygen before you were able to attach the mask to your child? That would be you and your child that would be lost, would be unconscious. Whereas if you attach your oxygen mask first and make sure that you're getting the nutrients that you need to be able to breathe okay, you are in a much better position to help the child. It's exactly the same with our clutter clearing. We tend to put other people first, and actually we can't be the support, the reliable support for them if we're not looking after ourselves. Okay, so I need to make sure I look after my health so that I can help and I can continue to work and do what I enjoy. Okay, financial. How has my life been in terms of the financial sector over the last year, 2015? I've been happy with that. That's done quite well. So I will put that probably halfway. We could always do a bit better, couldn't we? So I'm going to put that one there. Okay. Personal development. I have done quite a bit of personal development actually this year, because that was one thing I wanted to focus on or decided to focus on last year. So I'm going to put that one fairly far out. I'm going around the words now so it's not too... There we go. So that section is probably out about there. I know that looks a mess, but hopefully you can see that section. And then my significant other, my beloved husband. Well, ironically, because his work section has been so full as well, we're guilty. We are guilty of not spending enough time with each other. I'm not saying we haven't spent any time together at all. We have had a couple of weekends away, but we haven't done enough. And to be quite honest, because of the work, we're too tired, because we haven't looked after our health, we're too tired for any romance. Sound familiar? I hope I'm not alone. So that section, I would probably say that's about half. If I was at school getting a school report, it would say could do better. I'm going to put that section like that. Okay, so you fill in your sections for how happy you are with each of the sections. Very happy with that aspect of your life. It goes on the outside of the segment. Not very happy. goes nearer the inside part of that segment. Okay, you may have been doing that while I was doing that on the board now. Now then, I said that it was a wheel of life. Why is it a wheel of life? Okay, well, starting at this, where should we start? We'll start at the significant other. What I want you to do is we're going to draw a line taking in where each of our segments is. This may make it a bit more obvious. So I'm going to rub out the bits that don't exist. Okay, that bit doesn't exist. That bit. That bit. That bit. That bit. And that bit. There we go. Okay, so I've erased or identified where my circle edges are. Ooh. There we go. There we go. All right. That is a very strange looking wheel. I hope you would agree. That is a circle that if you imagine that you cut that out of a circle and you held it in the middle, if you tried to turn that, that would not be a very smooth circle. If that was the wheel of a car, if the wheel of your cars looked like that, that would not be a smooth ride, would it? You would not get a smooth journey. It would be very, hickety-pickety, as that circle turned round. In fact, it might even get stuck in this bit because there's hardly any wheel in these segments. This does tend to bring home quite starkly where the gaps, where that could do better in the different areas of your life are. Because ultimately, we want to have a smooth circle. Even that's not very good at drawing. I did warn you, didn't I? Okay, so whichever areas of your circle would give you the bumpiest bit, those are the areas that are probably a priority. And I mentioned yesterday that most people associate the physical environment segment, which is down here, with their clutter. So is the physical environment segment of your wheel of life the bumpiest bit? Is that the bit that has the least amount of happiness in it? Because whichever 1, 2, maybe 3 segments of your wheel have the bumpiest, the least amount of wheel there, those are the bits that you should probably prioritise in 2016. And if it's not a segment that you associate with clutter, so physical environment, like I say, most people associate the physical environment segment with their clutter. If it's not a segment associated with your clutter, that's okay. As long as you can control your clutter this year in terms of no more impulse buying, no more unnecessary accumulation of clutter, as long as you don't grow your clutter in 2016, that segment will still be there next year to work, or the year after, I should say, 2017, to work on. Okay. Now, your instinct may be, oh, but Claire, I want to work on all of these segments, because maybe lots of segments, a bit like mine, are quite low. The instinct is to panic a bit. Oh gosh, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sections that are quite obvious. That 5 out of 8 segments that are quite low. Instinct is to panic a bit. But don't. identify the least full segment, and I would say the 3 least full segments, okay, and prioritize those for next year. If you've had your clutter for more than a year, and most people who are seeking out help for their clutter have had their clutter for, on average, at least 3 years, 1 year is not going to make a huge amount of difference if you don't do something with your clutter. Okay, as long as you do not grow more clutter by impulse buying, bulk buying, as long as you can control that accumulation, at least the clutter won't get worse. So while you're concentrating on other segments of your wheel of life in 2016, you will then be in a good position to focus on the clutter segment next year. Because not only are we going to need to concentrate on growing the segments that maybe have bits missing this year, we're still going to have to concentrate on maintaining the segments that are quite full. Because we don't want to just go, oh, actually, forget about work, career, I'm going to just focus on health. What we're trying to do is we're trying to continue the full segments, build up the more empty segments. So there's going to be quite a lot involved with doing that. Okay? Does that help? Do let me know which segments you are realising that need some attention in 2016. I hope that's helped a bit. It is just a matter of this is a good way for identifying what your priorities may be, because it's so easy to make New Year's resolutions and then to realise, oh, I can't keep all these resolutions because there's too many things going on. Trying to spin too many plates at once. It doesn't work, does it? I would much rather pick just one segment to start focusing on and start doing well and to grow, while maintaining the segments that are already working well in my life, than try to get all 8 segments where I want them. Again, growing and maintaining these is going to take time. It's going to take energy. It's going to take effort. So we have to be better to do one segment, grow one segment well and strong, than try to grow 2, 3, 4, 5 segments and for them all to be a little bit weak. Yeah, good. Now, if you have done this exercise, if you do this exercise and you discover that the clutter segment is an area of your wheel of life that you want or need to work on in 2016, tomorrow I will share with you the 7 secrets of how to successfully start and maintain your clutter clearing journey in 2016. So I will share another video with you tomorrow. It's a great excuse for me to disappear from the house for a couple of hours when I record these videos. So look out for another video from me tomorrow. All right. Do share any light bulb moments, comments, thoughts about this in the comment below. I will share any tomorrow. We didn't have any from yesterday, so hence I haven't shared anything. But I will record another video for you tomorrow, and I shall see you then. Take care.